Welcome to our second example using the alternating series test. So in this example, we are asked to determine using the alternating series test whether the series will converge or diverge. And one thing that we happen to notice as we're looking at this series is that if we take the limit as n going off to infinity of 11n over 8n plus 6, then what happens, because we have the degree of the numerator equal to the degree of the denominator, then we know that this limit is actually going to be the ratio of the leading coefficients, and so we really get an answer of 8 over 11. So that what this means, if we look at our limit as n goes off to infinity of our minus 1 to the n plus 1 times our 11n over 8n plus 6, that two things actually happen. That if we have an even number, so our even indices, then we have this minus 1 to the n plus 1, so these guys will actually head off to a negative 11 over 8 for n being even. On the other hand, if n is odd, then our odd terms will head off. Then we have our minus 1 to the n plus 1 will be even, will be a positive value. So those guys will head off to positive 11 over 8. And so in this case, what this really means is that our limit does not exist in this case. Half of our terms head off to one point, half of our terms head off to another point, and so our overall limit does not exist. So because our limit doesn't exist, if we take a look at our divergence test, then what we see, rather than actually using the alternating series test, the divergence test is going to tell us that because that limit does not exist, we have no condition that our terms have to be positive or negative, or only positive or only negative, or anything like that. Just that the limit doesn't exist, or the limit is not 0 as our terms, as n goes off to infinity, then we know that our series is going to diverge. And so in this case, what we're able to conclude is that our series, n goes from 1 to infinity of minus 1 to the n plus 1 of 11n over 8n plus 6 diverges by the divergence test. And so in this case, we're really able to use the divergence test instead of using the alternating series test. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time.